Super Balls hanging out with you today. So today we're going to talk about our Trikes motorcycles. This is going to be a fun one. I'm not even sure where I stand on this anymore. I think technically I'm still of the camp that yes they are motorcycles. I think anybody who says they're not really just have a poor attitude, or you know, are insecure about their hobby or something, want to be exclusionary or feel more elite. So unfortunately people tend to really hold dear to the fact that only two wheels are motorcycles. Now I got in an argument about this on Reddit, and so I'm not shy about it. In some ways I'm going to take an L, but I'm still going to hold true to the fact that they are in fact motorcycles, even though they drive differently. So looking into the etymology of the words, now motorcycle itself seems to be historically a portmanteau, or mashup of two words, of motor and bicycle, historically, which would in fact indicate that motorcycles are only two-wheeled vehicles. Merriam-Webster's dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, definitely specify that they have two wheels. Which is fair. I wonder if I can write to them and have the definition revised. That would be kind of cool. However, yes, it is a portmanteau, historically speaking, and that's, I looked up the etymology. Now, the etymology of bicycle is basically derived from two Greek words, bi, which means two, and kuklos, cycle, which comes from kuklos, which is Greek for wheel, so two wheels. And tricycle, of course, would be pretty well the same thing, right? Tri means three, and kuklos, cycle from kuklos, which means wheel. Now, of course, the word motorcycle itself doesn't indicate any number of wheels on its own. So besides the etymology in its origin, there's really no reference to the number of wheels. It's basically, you know, there's the word motor, which indicates that it's motorized, and then cycle, which, you know, comes from the Greek kuklos, which means wheels. Legally speaking, and I looked up a few regions, including New Mexico, because that's who I was having an argument with, was someone from New Mexico. Ontario, a couple other places definitely specify a motorcycle as a motorized vehicle, not having with a seat that a rider can sit in or straddle. And I'm not quoting the law here. That has no more than three wheels. So the laws are going to treat motorcycles and tricycles the same. Now, I will give it this. I'm pretty sure, licensing-wise, if you take your license on a tricycle, you can only ride tricycles. You can't ride a two-wheeled motorcycle. That's in Ontario anyway. You'll have to look it up for your own neck of the woods. Otherwise, you know, but it's also the same for, you know, limited speed motorcycles. If you take your license on a limited speed motorcycle, you can only ride limited speed motorcycles, not, you know, full-sized, full-geared, highly capable bikes. So I guess this is still, I'm still in an area where I feel it's very contentious. You know, I do think from a technical perspective, a tricycle is a motorcycle. I think if anybody wants to really differentiate between the two, we could refer them as, you know, motorbike and motor trike. You know, that's where we could put the differentiation. and they would both fall under the category of motorcycle. So I think really at the end of the day, people are just hanging on to a word, or hanging on too dearly to a single word in an evolutionary landscape of vehicles, and denying the term motorcycle to trikes can be fairly disrespectful to the demographics who are most likely to actually ride trikes, which are probably going to be elderly people who have ridden motorcycles all their lives and just might not be able to, they might have injuries or, just deteriorating health where they just can't hold a motorcycle up anymore, or there's just too much, risk of them dropping it. Or if someone's disabled, someone comes back from Afghanistan or, wherever we're at war with at the time with their leg blown off, and not to get political, because of course I don't really like the idea of wasting our soldiers' lives or limbs, but those soldiers are going to have to go where they're told to go under, pretty severe penalties if they don't. And they're to do what they're told. They're not told everything, and they're also fed a bunch of lies like we are. So, as soldiers, they've given themselves up, they've given themselves up for the most part. And they are doing their job for us, and they deserve that respect, whether you agree with whatever war they're fighting or whatever conflict they're involved in. That's really not their fault. They do deserve respect simply for doing what a lot of us are either too old or too afraid or incapable of doing. So at the end of the day, if someone comes back from war or something with their leg blown off, how do you, it's going to be very difficult for them to ride a motorcycle, because if they just mistakenly lean on the wrong side, how are they supposed to, hold their bike up, right? So trikes are really good for them. Now, one thing that did get brought up, and I think is the difference between, Can-Am Spyders or Harley trikes and the new Polaris Slingshot. I don't consider the Polaris Slingshot a motorcycle. There is a subset of vehicles called three-wheeled cars, and due to the layout and controls of the Polaris Slingshot, I would consider it to be a three-wheeled car, not a motorcycle. And that's because the Slingshot has a steering wheel. It does not have a set of handlebars, regardless of whether those handlebars are direct steer or counter steering. And there's two seats for driver and passenger. And those seats are beside each other, which is a configuration more like a car than a motorcycle. I mean, my motorcycle has two seats, but the one's behind me. And a Can-Am has two seats, but they're both straddled and they're behind. At the same time, the seat type really doesn't matter. I mean, a Goldwing is a motorcycle, and that rear seat is basically, it's still straddled, but it's still basically a seat you sit in with armrests and everything. So, I think the type of seat is kind of an asinine argument. So at the end of the day, I still feel that three-wheeled motorcycles are motorcycles. Despite etymology, not entomology, despite etymology and history of the word. But I also think this is an argument that's going to keep roaring for a long time. So with that in mind, fight me. That's all I can say. Fight me, bro. We can argue about it all day. We can even get vicious about it, I don't care. So anyway, that's all I got for you today. But if you got anything to say it, man. Let's discuss it. But at the same time, let's be respectful to each other. Avoid name calling. I don't think I'm going to allow any comments with useless name calling or anything like that on to remain on this video. We can be vehement and we can be angry, but let's not be toxic. So anyway, like this video if you agree with me. I mean, like it if you don't agree with me and you feel like arguing with it, because at least then we started some discussion. Leave a comment. All I ask is just be respectful, you know, and try and at least sound intelligent. And you don't have to be intelligent, just at least try, okay? And you know, if you wanted me to, or well, I'm going to put up more videos whether you do or not, but you know, if you want to be notified of my videos, which I'm going to try and get up on a pretty regular basis, subscribe, and hopefully we can do this a lot. Alright guys, peace. Okay everyone, thanks for hanging out with me today. If you like this video and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button up here. Feel free to check out my other videos as well. Right here, right here. Anyway, peace out. Ride safe.